Hey now, it's Brace for Impact, and I am your host, Mike Gilbert, and I am joined as always by JD, resting bitch face. No Levi. How you doing, JD?
Not good, man. I'm not good.
Yeah. So you're giving me the look. So
50 bucks down the drain
you
tonight.
paid
That's how I feel.
you paid
I got it.
50?
I got it on Fight.
Yeah, so did I. I only paid 40.
Maybe I only paid 40. I thought I paid 50. I'm still
No.
mad about it. I'm
Yeah.
still mad about it.
Yeah.
I feel a
So
little better, but I still.
so I was gonna me and my cousin went in halfers, so that's no
Well,
big deal.
my kid was watching the first part with me, and then he got bored and ran out of the room.
Yeah.
But he ain't paying. If he goes halfers with me, I'm still paying the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You
So
know,
that's the cool thing about Fight. I think you can have at least two people watch the same show at the same time. So my cousin in Missouri was watching, and
I
so
didn't know that. That's
yeah,
pretty
yeah, yeah,
cool.
yeah. So me and him, we do that. So
That's cool.
I paid for this one, and he paid for the UFC that went down last month. So because on ESPN Plus you can do the same thing. So there you go. Just a pro tip for
That's
all the folks out there. If you can't get to your buddy's house during COVID to watch the show, just share the account, and you can still pay half.
I wish you paid for my half.
Yeah, yeah, because even half of it, I don't think that was worth it. So
No,
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 no.
man. So I'm pretty bummed out because I told a lot of people to watch this show, and I wrote an article stating 5 reasons why you should watch the show, and most of those reasons didn't occur, right? Like massive surprises. Nope, no
No,
massive surprises.
not a
Gr-
one.
Great matches. We had a couple really good matches. I'll give them that. And then a new generation emerges in Josh Alexander, and we didn't get it. We didn't.
Fuck that all.
We got it for a couple of seconds, and then Impact just had to go heat, heat, heat.
They
And
they went TNA all over the place.
the thing is that I like heated angles. I love that stuff. But
Not tonight.
I also think it's okay to let a good moment breathe, right? And we're gonna get to that main event, but I just felt that it was too soon for the angle. I don't completely hate it because I've been wanting Moose to be champion forever, and I finally got it. So I do feel some satisfaction in that. But I could have waited. They could have done this at Turning Point. They could have done it at Impact this coming up week. They could have shot an angle to get Josh on back on the hunt with a heel, because he wasn't chasing a heel in Christian. He was just chasing a rival, right? And so you could have had a different thing. But anyway, man, let's go ahead and get into the show. I think we're both oh, you know what, hold on, Suda is entering the room. We ready for this?
Let's
So
do it.
our buddy Suda, hold on just a second. Suda, you there? Hey, you there?
Hey, Big Mike. Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, man. We're you're here with Mike and JD on Brace for Impact. How you doing, man?
Dude, doing pretty good, Big Mike. By God, nice to meet you over the podcast airwaves.
Hey, nice to meet you too, man. I'm thank you for supporting the podcast. And for those listening and don't know what the hell is going on here, Suda was at Bound for Glory tonight in Samstown, man. How was the live experience?
It was interesting. It was interesting, Mike, because I was actually there at Slam, and I think the thing that I noticed right away is that in Nashville, I think it's a little bit more pure Impact fan base, but out here, I think a lot of more. I don't know if you call them casuals, but a lot of folks that are I guess wrestling fans outside of Impact.
Okay,
How was
well,
the crowd? How was the crowd tonight? Because on the over the broadcast, it didn't seem like they were super excited or loud. But is that just a miking issue, or was everyone kind of sitting on their hands all night?
I think that through some parts, folks were sitting on their hands. I think that the X Division match, I think that's the one that really woke everybody up. And you guys have to excuse my voice because I think it's like halfway gone, but it was the X Division match that I think that woke everybody up with Macklin, El Fantasmo, Trey Miguel. Once that's going and got pretty hot, then everybody got a little bit louder.
When the demon came out in the Call Your Shot gauntlet, did anybody know who the fuck that was?
I think it probably only the 30 plus and over group knew who that was. And so, there was a couple of us kind of hitting each other on the arm and say like, do you know who that is? And like, yeah, that's WCW guy. That's Dale. And that's what I was wondering. I was wondering if that was actually Dale Torborg. I think that's his name.
That was in fact Dale Torborg out there.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah. So in the crowd, were people just on edge the whole night waiting for big surprises that they never ended up getting?
You know what, Mike, I think I saw your tweet, and it was kind of a night that a lot of us didn't expect, because there was a group of us and we were all kind of talking ahead of time, kind of doing our predictions and whatnot. And then as the show went on, and we were kind of, there were, I guess, really the surprises were how the match is finished. But yeah, there was a lot of people waiting for things that didn't really happen. So I don't know if that means that what we've seen on Twitter in regards to the AEW and Impact relationship being done, or for some reason they're saving some big things for tomorrow, I guess. But I really can't tell what the hell was going on.
Right, I gotcha. Now final thing, and then we'll let you get back to your room. Well, no, two things. How did the Moose angle at the end of the show play and with the live crowd?
There was a lot of people that were really excited about it, I think, because I think a lot of us have been waiting at least for a good year for Moose to hold actual gold. And so when he actually cashed in his little dollar store trophy, then he it really popped part of the crowd. But man, because I really liked how they built the Alexander and Christian Cage match. And so, I was 100% behind Alexander. They had his wife there. They had his kid come into the ring. And man, for me, at least personally, it knocked the wind out of me when the finish happened that way.
Yeah. I mean, in your opinion, should they have just waited to do that finish and just let the fans go home happy for the night?
I think so, but I was thinking about it, and for whatever reason they wanted to have I guess somewhat of a big finish, I guess, if you want to call it that, just to shake things up a little bit. But yeah, I felt personally, like I said, I felt deflated. But and unfortunately, the walk-in weapon, he's gonna have that title of the shortest Impact World Championship reign. So.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but that actually, yeah, that's not something that you want on your resume. So, so hey, before we let you go, what are your overall thoughts on the show, man? What do you got? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle?
I give it a thumbs up. I mean, I think the in-ring stuff was really good. For the most part, the finishes happened the way that I thought they were going to. And, I think the thing that really stood out to me was that the Collier shot was actually worth something this year. I felt like they did a whole lot of a better job with who they included in there. Rocky Romero, he's a guy that I really like. So that was a real pleasant surprise. So I give the whole show a thumbs up.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, I'm glad you enjoyed the show. Thank you for calling in. And get home safely. I know you've had some adult beverages tonight, so make sure you get home safe. All right.
All day. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, JD.
All right, man. Yep, take it easy. Well, cool.
I'm really glad you did that, because I think it's good to hear from someone who's a fan who really likes the show, because it's going to be it's nice to have a vastly differing opinion from what I think we're going to have, and especially from what I'm going to have. So I'm really glad that he had fun, because I was absolutely fucking miserable watching this show tonight.
Yeah, no, I'm really glad he called in and gave us that live experience. And I felt like he was being truthful. I don't feel like he is drinking the Kool-Aid. I think that he actually really did enjoy himself, and that's a different context than you get from us just kind of sitting at home. So I would go ahead and say that it's probably easy prediction that the live experience was much better than us watching at home on TV.
Yeah, man, watching. Oh, he also, why he liked the show? You know why he liked the show? He didn't have to listen to Matt Stryker all night.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Because
So
he
that,
was
yeah,
horrendous, man. He was horrendous the whole night.
this fake tears. Your dad's a hero.
Yeah. And I'm a new father. And shut the fuck up, Stryker.
Funny.
Gosh.
Like it was he. I remember we were messaging each other like he's ruining this moment.
Yeah.
And it turned out it didn't matter anyway. So who cares?
Yeah. Moose took all the heat off of Stryker. So
Yeah. So
yeah,
he's good at that. Oh
yeah.
man, where do you want to start?
Let's just go ahead and start at the beginning of the show, and then we'll run it down like we always do, and then we'll send it home, man. So the first match, you know what? We'll talk about what happened on the pre-show. So yeah, Jordan Grace, she won the DMC. So there you go. She's the champion there. And then Awesome Kong had a really cool speech. I did get a chance to watch her speech. Gail Kim inducted her into the Hall of Fame. She had a really nice speech, and then all the females talent in the company came out and congratulated her. So I thought that was really cool. So congrats to Awesome Kong, man. She's an absolute legend.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the main
I did
show,
not watch the. I didn't watch the pre-show because I was watching Dynamite tonight, so I missed. I missed the pre-show.
Yeah, I was watching the pre-show and my stupid fuckface Dodgers at the same time. So who lost? So I don't want to talk about it.
Man, sorry.
Yeah,
I get it. I get it.
The Inspiration defeated Knockouts Tag Team Champions Decay, and they are the new champions. I guess the girl that was lip syncing the Inspiration to the ring is called Harley Cameron. So that's
Is she like famous? Like, should we be familiar with her?
I'm so out of touch with pop music.
Me too.
She could be one of the most famous singers in the world, and I just wouldn't know.
Yeah, I feel the same way. My wife came out because this is the only thing part of the show my wife watched, my wife and kid. She's like, "Who's the chick with the pink hair?" And I had to say, I don't know. Yeah. And she's like, "Is she famous?" And I had to say, I don't know. So we're old.
Yeah. Yeah. She could absolutely be famous and people could really, really like her. I just don't know. So there you go.
She was lip syncing. I know that.
She definitely was not singing. Definitely not singing. And you know, which makes sense because this is Impact Super Bowl and they don't sing in those shows either. So so anyway, the Inspiration won. They got the victory here. Let's see. We'll go to the ending here. Lee got rid of Rosemary, hit a spinning kick on Havoc, and along with McKay sent Havoc into the ring post over and over again. Finish followed after a blind tag that Rosemary didn't see because it's blind there, pal, which allowed Lee to knee Rosemary, set up the finisher, and pin Rosemary to win the titles. Not the smoothest of matches, but there's room to grow. That is the commentary here on the Wrestling Observer from our friend Antonio Garza. So what did you think of this match here?
Not very good. I mean, it didn't suck, but it wasn't very good. I was surprised that Havoc had a really hard time in this match. She fell down, like just literally fell down 2 or 3 times, and I thought she blew her knee on that missed leg drop spot. Like it was not good.
No. Trey Miguel defeated El Phantasmo and Steve Macklin to become the new X Division champion. And this is the prediction that you and I differed on. I picked Miguel and you had Macklin. And I thought this was outstanding. There were times where I really thought they were going to give the nod to Macklin, and he cranked it up a notch in this match, dude. He looked freaking great, dude. He looked incredible.
He really looked fantastic.
Dude, he did a spear onto Trey Miguel while Trey Miguel was upside down through the ropes, bro.
Move of the night.
Yes.
That was a fantastic. And then he got a little excited. He did a really good because all suicide dives except for Darby Allin suck. But he came through like a freaking truck and just blasted right into ELP. And then he tried to do a tope and almost killed himself. But you know, Trey caught him and he was kind of like, oh, I kind of overdid it. But it was cool. He is such a big dude, and he does a great job basing for these X Division matches. This really was an X Division match. You really felt like it. I can't say enough good things about it. I like this match a lot.
I thought there was a real cool spot where ELP went for the dick punch and Miguel had a cup on, which makes sense. And Miguel and Macklin traded near falls until ELP cut them off. ELP powerbomb Macklin, hit a super Rana, tossing Miguel onto Macklin, actually hit his knee, which I thought hurt him actually. We'll see how he feels after that one. Followed with a plancha on Macklin for a big near fall. Macklin came back with a powerbomb and ELP for another near fall. Macklin blocked a Meteora, but took a couple of kicks by both Miguel and ELP. ELP went for a low punch, but Miguel had a cup, followed by a couple of kicks and a deadlift brainbuster and a Meteora for the win in a fantastic match.
What a great finish. Like,
Yeah,
this was great. If the whole show was this, it'd have been awesome.
yeah, absolutely, man. Miller then interviewed Mickey James prior to her match. James, so that was a good interview. I don't really want to get into too much, but pretty solid interview from Mickey James. Heath and Rhino defeated Violent by Design, Joe Doring, and Cody Diener. So this is the story. Heath basically started the match by himself because he's waiting for Rhino to come out, and then eventually Rhino came out and then just hit the gore and it was over. So that was the match.
What a good friend to let you just take an ass whooping for 5 minutes before you decide to come out. Like,
yeah,
I was just, yeah. We worked ourselves into thinking this was going to be a lot more than it was.
Yeah, I with Impact, you really need to keep your expectations low. I thought this was the Adam Scherr spot, and we just did not get it, man.
What's up with the Adam Scherr thing, man? I mean, this is the time to debut him. Like, if he just shows up this week on the show, it's like, you're just going to give him to me for free when I paid $40 to see something cool and you failed to deliver anything?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where we're at right now. I guess we gotta wait for the journalists to break something, because I'm not impressed.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they should have brought him out tonight. I do think that he's still coming in, but he's probably going to be coming in during the TV this week. So saving it for TV. I think that, maybe they were thinking that, they've already sold the pay-per-views and they've already sold the tickets to the show. And I disagree with their thinking, but tonight is the night that they had all of the media's attention, right? And everybody was watching all at the same time. I think this would have been the night to bring him out.
Remember when we argued, we actually agreed. We wondered if they should bring Scherr out after Josh won. And I remember you said that would ruin Josh's moment.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, this was, I'll hold it. Continue.
Yep. I'm sorry. I'm getting a lot of feedback on Twitter. I'm thinking I might send the link out to a couple more dudes who are having an argument right now on our feed, because there's people that really love it and there's people that really hate it. I'm interested in their take.
Well, me too. We'll check this out. I'll go off on a tangent at some point. You can just catch up.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. Number 1 was Chris Sabin, and number 2 was Rocky Romero, and I thought this was really cool. I've been waiting a long time to see Romero come into Impact, especially with his relationship with the Good Brothers, and so I thought this was really cool. He got eliminated a little earlier than I would have hoped, but he's probably like, screw that, I don't want to stay in this match forever, so get me out early.
Rocky's office, man. He just did it for the quick pop, and he's like, I'm out of here. So Rocky Romero has been on AEW, New Japan Strong, ROH, and now Impact all this year. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man, he's everywhere. So number 3 was Fulton. Number 4 was Rohit Raju, and Raju was kind of trying to manipulate everybody in the match and get it to team up with him. I thought Raju was good in this match, actually.
Yeah, I agree. That's fun.
Then we had Tasha Steeles and Rachel Ellering, and then Savannah Evans. So they got all the females in at once, and then they kind of eliminated them all at the same time. And then right after Evans was Johnny Swinger, who was over like a mofo, man. That crowd ate Johnny Swinger up, and I thought that was cool. He came out and he started to do the Rick Rude hip stuff to Tasha Steeles, who ended up beating his ass. And then next was Melina Perez. And then after that, it was the Kiss Demon from WCW, Dale Torborg, who ended up eliminating Johnny Swinger. Then after that,
I did nothing for the next 10 minutes.
Yep. And then eventually he just went over the ropes as gingerly as you possibly could and then landed on his feet. So good for him. He got paid and never left his feet.
He got paid. This was he should have just been in and out. Like, it kind of, when he was there for like 10 minutes in the match. And I'm like, are they going to do something with the Demon? And he would occasionally throw some like ginger kicks.
Yeah, man.
And then he'd go back in the corner, just kind of hang out and look like he was reconsidering why he did this, or, thinking about baseball, I assume. It was so, he should have been eliminated a lot earlier. Right.
Yeah.
Which I don't think he would have had a problem with, but it was poorly booked. What do you know?
Weird. Number 11 was Brian Myers, and he came out with his learning tree. Number 12 was his old partner, Matt Cardona. Cardona came to the ring. He came off like a big star here. And then number 13 was Laredo Kid, followed by Sam Beal, who came out, and we thought that he was going to turn on Brian Myers, but no, he actually joined up with Brian Myers until he ended up turning on him later and eliminating him, which I thought was kind of cool.
That worked. Hey,
yeah.
that's a story. That's a story. I'll take it.
Yep, we'll take it. Rich Swann came in at number 15, and then we got Ace Austin at 16. Then Ace Austin eliminated the Demon. Number 17 was Moose, who came in strong. He actually powerbombed Beal over the top ropes into Zicky Dice and BSK, which I thought was actually really cool.
Yeah,
really cool. And then Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards were number 18 and 19. Alicia came out with the kendo sticks. Edwards hit a tope through the middle rope on the Moose. Moose hit an apron bomb. Alicia Edwards comes out, brought some kendo sticks, and then they attacked Moose together. And then W. Morrissey comes out, and Alicia and Edwards try to gang up on Morrissey, but he overpowered them and knocked them both out. He military pressed Alicia to eliminate her. Sorry. And then Moose and Morrissey joined up to eliminate Edwards. Sabin eliminated Austin, and then the final four were Cardona, Swan, Moose, and Morrissey. So that was kind of cool. Like you get to like, hey, these are four guys that are really like our top four of our top guys in the company. And then eventually Moose turns on Morrissey, tosses him out, and then we got Moose and Cardona. Cardona made a comeback with a huge lariat. Cardona went for radio silence with miss, only to take Moose's lights out for the pin. So Moose earns a shot for any title he chooses, which we find out later is the world title.
Man,
so there you go.
I thought Morrissey just about killed Eddie Edwards when he eliminated him. That kick looked fantastic. I'll be amazed if Eddie doesn't have a concussion after that. To be quite honest, it looks so good.
Yeah, I hope not, man. He's been banged up a little bit lately.
Yeah. So was it me, or was this match just kind of boring?
It was boring. No, it was boring, and I think because it's hard to have good wrestling in these matches until you get down to that final four. So what you need to do is fill it up with spectacle and with good surprises. Not Melina, who was on the show recently. And I popped when the Demon came out. I thought that was kind of cool. I also popped when I popped when Rocky Romero came out, but so I thought those are too cool. But you know, there's some people that were in this match, like Alicia Edwards, who didn't even actually get in the match, didn't need to be in it. They could have had a different surprise, right? They didn't need to have, you know, Savannah Evans, and they didn't need to have Sam Beal or whatever. There were several people in the match that they didn't really need to have.
There are several people who weren't in the match that should have been, like, where's Black Taurus? You know, like there's a lot of there's I think this whole call your shot thing was not, let's be honest, the Royal Rumble is the greatest gimmick match of all time, right? I don't think anyone can argue that. And any ripoff match of the Royal Rumble just doesn't work. No. Like the Battle Riot's kind of fun. The Battle Riot's similar to this. The Casino Battle Royal doesn't work very well either. Like this, it just doesn't work. Like I'm so tired of knocking off WWE on everything and doing it poorly. Right? The Royal Rumble is booked smart. It is. I don't like WWE, but they booked the Royal Rumble smart.
Royal Rumble's my favorite event every year.
Me too. It's fun. Even if I don't like the company, I like it. This wasn't good. Did the right guy go over? Yes. Was the Final Four entertaining? Absolutely. But it was useless. It was pointless leading into it. It was just so creatively vapid.
Yes. No, I completely agree. I thought the match was boring. I've never seen a good call your shot gauntlet match. They've never had one. And so this trend continues. So next we'll go to the Impact Tag Team Champions, the Good Brothers. They defeated the Bullet Club and Finn Juice to retain the championships. And look, the match was okay. The match, I would say it was a solid match. The finish was just weak. It was the same old tropey. Hey, let's just steal the pin on somebody. So Anderson stole the pin, and he ends up pinning Chris Bay after Finn Juice hit the finish on Chris Bay. So that was the whole thing. And then they go ahead.
Creatively vapid.
Yeah. It's like
same thing.
Well, so when they booked the match, they weren't even trying. And then they had the match and they still weren't trying. It was just a three-way match for the sake of a three-way match. It just didn't matter. The whole thing sucked.
Mm-hmm. It was boring. Like, again, boring match. And again, these are three teams that are good. They're entertaining. I like the Good Brothers. I like Finn Juice. Like, this should have been, and the Bullet Club team it's like the junior Bullet Club team, but it's fine. Like, this should have been, I'll tell you what, I think the tag team match we saw this week on TV was better before we had the dumb finish.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Like, I don't know, man. This should have been so much better It just wasn't.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. And but I'll be honest, I didn't really have high hopes for the match anyway because I just didn't like the way that it was booked to begin with. But at this point, I think the show needed an excellent match. Like they needed it at this point because this was a completely thumbs down show up until this point. You had the one X Division match, but I think the Call Your Shot Gauntlet just took the wind out of everyone's sails after that X Division match. So
absolutely,
yep. We go to a really good Christian Cage interview, man. I think he is such a pro, and I'm going to be missing him on these shows. But Cage talked about the sacrifices he's made for Impact, and he's not ready to pass the torch, nor is he ready to drop the title to Alexander. He even brought up that his kid would be disappointed at the end of the night, and boy, was he right. I don't think for the same reasons, but he was. Yeah, he ended up being right, but not for the reason he thought he was going to be right.
I think that was a spoiler from Christian. I think he was letting us know.
Yep. Mickie James defeated knockout champion Deonna Purrazzo to become the new champion, and this was a really good match.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, two very good professional wrestlers having a very good professional wrestling match. At one point, Mickie James kicked out of the Queen's Gambit. Purrazzo kicked out of Mickie James's Tornado DDT. They ended up hitting their moves a couple more times. Then eventually Mickie James got the victory there. Fantastic match. Great ending. I got this one wrong, man. You said Mickie James all along that was going to get it. And boy, were you right. And you talked me into it. I think this is also the right call.
Yeah, I think it was too. I think I said we've had Deonna's had this belt for a year. Now we can kind of change it up a little bit. She still has a AAA title. I don't think that it's not like the door's closed. Like now we can refresh things a little bit. Mm-hmm. And when this happened, actually, I got nervous.
Yes. Cause you just can't let everybody have a bunch of nice things at once. You can't give them everything that they want. Right?
And we weren't getting, Lord knows we weren't getting everything we wanted, but I think they thought they were giving us everything. I truly believe Scott D'Amore is sitting somewhere at a table in Vegas right now, puffing his chest, really thinking like he had a great show tonight. And you didn't, sir.
Yeah. You didn't. Well, if he's listening to the echo chamber that is Hardcore Impact Twitter, he might think that he did. But if he goes outside of that little echo chamber, he's probably going to get a rude awakening, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, I think something later in the show will get clipped, and I know someone will share things online, and the words will get out. But yeah, no, not good, man. Not good. But continue. Not good. This was good though. This was good. Mickie James looked fantastic. Like
absolutely.
The Striker, I thought was going a little hard on.
Dude, thank you for bringing that up. I forgot about that. Continue. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying Striker went a little bit hard on Mickie being old.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And like, I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. I'm like, what? Why are you burying your baby face out there? Like she's a freaking legend. And you're like, well, she's not what she used to be. Like that was the whole, and I get it. The story of the match should have been like, like this, she's coming back. She's like, doing it. She beat the dominant champion. Like the guy in the main event's like 6 years older than her.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Why are we burying? Like, and again, that's what that is. They might not think that's what it is, but it was like, that was the whole story of Striker's commentary was, God, Mickey's old. I looked to the chair next to me, which nobody was sitting in, but I had to make a comment to somebody because you're going to call her Piggy James next. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
He was bad.
I thought it was completely ridiculous, especially considering, and I'm not going to shame anybody, but Mickie James is in a lot better shape than Purrazzo. And does not look much older than Purrazzo. And that's not a knock on Purrazzo. That is more like Mickie James takes very good care of herself. And I don't think that she looks her age. I think she was in great shape, had a lot of energy and tore the house down, man. And I thought that Matt Striker was completely abhorrent the whole fucking night. But this match specifically, where he was like, maybe, is Father Time catching up to Mickie James? No, dude. Like I get that you say that stuff in real sports, but this ain't real sports. You can dress it up a little bit to make your champions look a lot younger than they really are. If you don't tell them that they're old, then they're probably not going to think that they're old. And I know Mickie James has been around a long time, but you don't have to beat them over the head with it that she's older now.
Dude,
I thought it was ridiculous.
I watched Dynamite tonight and I saw Bobby Fish and CM Punk and Bryan Danielson and like dudes that are like around the same age as Mickie James doing just fine. And nobody's there talking about how old they are. right? And
Yeah.
like I said, Christian Cage is in the main event.
Yeah.
Like he's 46, 47. I mean, come on, man. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, man. But again, a great match. I don't want to like rain on the match. I thought the match was excellent. Hard to kill.
Probably my favorite match, to be honest with you. I really liked this match.
Yeah, so did I. Hard to Kill will take place January 8th in Dallas, Texas. They didn't announce a venue, but I'm sure it's going to be something like one of the nightclubs that they like to run there. And that they what's that?
Did you notice they had a montage of all the injuries?
Yeah.
Hard to Kill. They ran it in. Look how often our talent gets hurt.
Look how unsafe our job is. Yeah.
Look. Yeah. Hey, OSHA, maybe you should check out Impact. Like,
yeah.
I was like, what are we doing? Why are we doing? Like, I remember WWE used to like, oh, this isn't safe at home. And they'd show like a couple, but there was like 3 minutes of injuries. Like they were showing Eddie Edwards getting hit in the face with the bat, and like what are we doing? Why are we showcasing this? Because we're hard to kill, but easy to maim.
Yeah, no, it was I thought that was a little weird, but I get the point they're trying to make. But and then so they have Turning Point taking place in November, and then I guess they announced that Final Resolution will take place in December. So a bunch of live events coming up here soon. So we get to this main event, man. Josh Alexander defeated Impact World Champion Christian Cage. He became the new champion. Just a fantastic professional wrestling match between two fantastic professional wrestlers. We'll go to the end here. Cage blocked a C4 but couldn't follow up because his shoulder was hurt. Alexander locked in the ankle lock and held on at every attempt from Cage to turn. He stepped on Cage's left hand and Cage had to tap out. A fantastic match. I was shocked that Cage actually tapped. I thought they would do the pin here. So
me too.
For all those dorks that were like, Tony Khan doesn't let his people lose and yada, yada, yada. Tony Khan has too big of an ego to let his talent lose and something crazy is going to happen. AEW is going to screw over Impact. No, Impact screwed Impact because Cage tapped out and he's going to go on to AEW and he's going to continue to be a big star because he's not hurt by this one bit because it was an awesome match. So yeah, he did the favor. He made Josh Alexander look like $1 million. His wife comes into the ring. His son comes into the ring. Cage, he put the belt on Alexander and then embraced him and let him have the spotlight. And then all of a sudden Moose ran in and cashed out his Call Your Shot gauntlet trophy, his $2 bowling trophy that you could get at Dollar General down the street. Moose defeated Impact World Champion Josh Alexander. Now he is the new champion, and then the show basically goes off the air at that point. So I feel like we beat this to death, but I know you got some more to say about this stuff, man. Go ahead, lay it on me.
So like I said, I'm gonna repeat myself because we actually guessed it on the Fight Game main show that went live in the Observer site tonight, but I'll repeat it for our patrons. Last week you had me watch Bound for Glory 2011 that featured a very similar event, Bobby Roode, Kurt Angle, and they built up Bobby Roode fantastic. All these vignettes, it felt like it was his time. And Hulk Hogan said, that doesn't work for me, brother. And then Kurt Angle, who could barely walk, loses. I'm sorry, Bobby Roode, he beats Bobby Roode, and then he loses in a minute to James Storm a week later. This is the same damn thing, right? It's the same thing. This is a company that could have had a moment to really make itself. Because again, we wasted our time this week writing and talking about how Impact could change and do something for the better. But it turns out we just want to be TNA, right? It's like 1982 and Vern Gagne is there saying, oh, if we do the screw job finish, the fans will come back the next week. You know what? I don't think I'm gonna. I'm serious. I'm seriously thinking about not watching the show anymore. Cause I'm like, why do I want to have my intelligence insulted for stupid heat, for not even originality? You're going to steal from WWE. You're going to try to make Josh Alexander into Bryan Danielson, into Daniel Bryan, and try to redo that thing. That wasn't good then. Fans hated it then, and WWE didn't want to deliver on it. It's uncreative. It's stupid. And it's bankrupt and it's bad. It's bad booking. And this is what happens when you surround yourself with a bunch of people that used to suck up to Vince and work in Stanford. It's shit. It's utter shit.
Whew. Yeah. So not good, especially if that's some of the reaction that you're getting. And there gets getting a polarized reaction. And then there's people that are going to be hardcore defending it. There are people that just love heat. They like to see heat. I feel like I was robbed. of a moment that we were going to get for Josh Alexander and the crowning of a new champion that's going to carry this promotion into the future. They had an opportunity to let people go home happy, and they chose not to give it to us. And I disagree with that approach. I don't like it. I think it was a complete waste of time. I felt like you wasted your energy writing that beautiful article about Josh Alexander and Bret Hart. I felt like I wasted my energy when I did my top 5 reasons why people should watch Impact, and all the work that I've done to promote this show on Fight Game Media, and me putting myself out there telling people, no, you need to see this. And this is the shit that they delivered. And I just I feel like I was kind of made to seem like I'm stupid now. And I don't like. Right. And I know that that's not their intention. I know that they think that this was going to be a hot angle that everybody's going to be talking about at the water cooler. Like, oh, hey, did you see this? Like, this was incredible, Southern style heat. But I just don't think that I just don't think that we needed to get that tonight. If they would have done it on Impact this coming up week, I'd have been completely fine with it. Because you know what? You let the moment breathe for a few days. You went off the air. I don't feel like I would have wasted my money. At that point, Impact was a thumbs all the way down show for me up until the Mickey James match, and then it started to raise up a little bit, and then the Josh Alexander title win, and you're gonna like thumbs in the middle, maybe thumbs like 3/4, not all the way, but you're a decent show at that point, right? And then they just completely took away that good moment that I've been wanting for so long. I felt like it was a waste.
I totally feel like I wasted my money. I totally feel like I wasted my money. I feel like wrestling has its roots in the carnival, right? And you're working the marks. And I completely felt like that's how they were tonight with us. And there's a lot of, this isn't the 80s. This is the kind of stuff that killed the NWA. It killed WCW, and it's nearly killed TNA a lot. But they've got a lot of loyal fans. So there are going to be a lot of people saying, this is great. Moose is great. And fine. Moose could be the champ. I don't have an issue with that. What bothers me is, one, the show sucked. If the show was great and ended like this, I might feel differently. But I didn't like the show going in. They won me over with the end. And then they didn't. Then they felt the need to overdo it because we got to get that heat, brother. Like, this was not the time for that. And like, I'm questioning all my decisions. It's like, why do I like the whole big story is, AEW and Impact ending their agreement tonight. Good.
Yeah.
If I'm Tony Khan and I'm like, this is what we built for a year. Cool. Mm-hmm. All right, you guys can have happy trails.
Yeah. Like, I gave you 2 of my biggest stars, and this is what you came up with.
You do a rip off Money in the Bank ending. You can't even be original or semi-original. You just steal stuff from WWE. Uncreative, bad.
Mm-hmm. Man. I don't know if I want to end the night on such a bad note, but I think that's all we got, man. Unfortunately,
I mean, they did. They ended the night on a bad note, and they think they're getting heat. Maybe we're getting heat. That's the way we should do it. We should make sure everyone who listens to this show is nice and pissed off, so they come back next week and are willing to. That doesn't make sense.
No,
that doesn't make sense. This isn't.
And it sucks. It sucks for us because Brace for Impact is mostly a positive experience for the people that listen to it. So
yeah,
but I can't sit here and lie to the audience. I just can't do it. If it sucks, I gotta say it sucks. And tonight was not a good night for Impact, and I think they actually they took some steps back tonight.
They needed to hit a home run, and they hit a pop fly into short center field.
Yeah, no, they absolutely did. They had an opportunity. The whole world was watching. All the media was watching. Everybody was rooting for them tonight too, and everybody was rooting for Josh Alexander.
But you gotta swerve it. Y'all, we can't give the people what they want. We got to swerve them, because then those 94,000 people will be back next week to watch the show. Great thinking, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Might be a lot less than 94,000 next week. Actually, you know what? It'll probably go up because fucking 3 extra people might see. Yeah.
That's true. The Nielsen things are weird like that. But I mean, this does not give Impact any positive momentum.
No. But I tell you what, JD did threaten to quit the show. However, I think that we're still going to be doing Brace for Impact next week. I think we're still going to watch.
I'm just angry.
I think we're still going to watch it, and I'm easily swayed. I can be turned around, man. So if they give me a couple good shows in a row, I think we're back into it.
I need to be wooed.
Yeah,
I need a gentle touch. It's going to take a little bit more to win me over.
Yeah,
but
I don't know,
the show, so.
Man. I'll be honest. I don't know that I'm all that excited about hard to kill and spending $40 again. You know, I don't, the money that I spent tonight doesn't come out of my regular budget. I just use the money that I get for the podcast, and it's because I could pay Fight TV with PayPal. So I just pay it with PayPal, because that's how I get my money for the podcast. So it's just kind of going back into the show. So I'm like at a net zero essentially with the work that we do on the show. So it's mostly just a hobby at this point. And so I'm kind of like, man, I don't know that I'm all that excited to spend some of the podcast money on Hard to Kill. So that I'm gonna have to be talked into that one. Impact is really gonna have to try hard.
No, I agree, man. Like I said, we spent a lot of time. Maybe we worked ourselves. Maybe we thought this was going to be. I mean, this isn't the first time this has happened with this company where you think that this is going to be the time. This is going to be it. This is when we change for the better.
Yeah.
And then they trick you. They're like, it's like that Scorpion and the Frog now story. I knew what they were when I jumped into this show. I shouldn't be surprised, but here I am. That's on me. Right? It's on me. It's not on them. It's not on them. They tell me all the time we do the wrong thing every opportunity we get, and they continue to do so. And if you liked it, that's great. I'm really happy that you are a loyal fan of this product. I'm not an Impact tried and true guy. I came on with Kenny Omega. I'll be the first one to admit it, but I've been with this company now, watching every episode, watching every show for over a year, and I really feel like my time and money were wasted and a great opportunity was squandered, because you got to re-sign Josh Alexander in February, and maybe you got another billionaire that's that kind of wants to throw something at you just because he thinks you guys are stupid. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, Tony Khan might be just talking to Josh like, hey, dude, I wouldn't do that shit to you. And you know what? And he wouldn't. No.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. I went to All Out and everybody left that show on cloud nine. Like I did the post show with Garrett, and everybody was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. It was the best show ever. Like, even if that's not true, even if it's hyperbole and recency bias, isn't it so much better to let your fans leave a show they paid a lot of money for in a good mood, rather than going, you're fucking stupid and I took your money. Shame on you.
Anyway, hey, we got to get out of here, guys. I'm going to try to get this show uploaded and put onto all of our different services. So that's going to do it for us. We will talk to you again on, we'll see you next Friday after Impact on Access TV. Take care, guys. Bye.